Welcome, Mr. Harry. Thank you for having me. We're constantly talking about business, from Turkey to Texas. Also, the global economy. We're talking about Turkey's economy, and sometimes we discuss America's economy. There were elections in America recently. It's being talked about that some things will change in the near future. Yes, especially regarding the Trump administration's policies related to China. There are some measures we expect. This could have some advantages for Turkey, but how can these be turned into advantages? It's a topic that's currently on the agenda among people, among business people. Yes. Along with all this, there are also many business people from Turkey who want to invest here. They also reach out from time to time, and they reach out to you as well. Why should they come? Considering all these realities and the current economic order, and thinking about the developments that will happen in the near future, why should business people from Turkey come and invest in Texas?
Like this. America is currently still meeting all its needs through imports. It's price indexed because it's more economical. If this glass were produced in America, what would its cost be? Do we have something like Lone Star Venture Capital here? Yes. If this glass were manufactured in America, the cost would be at most 1/10 or even lower than that when imported from abroad, especially from China. So everything you see here is mainly imported from China, and it's a $30 trillion annual market. We consume 25% of the world's resources in America, 25% of the world's economy. It's a huge market. 3% of the world's population consumes that 25%. So America realized that during Trump's election campaign, and even in his earlier term, he particularly insisted on the importance of domestic production, both strategically and in terms of employment and for the country's economy, especially regarding American brands. You know, there was a phrase about that. Then it changed its name. There are American brands produced in Mexico and Canada. There are American brands produced. There's Apple produced in China? Yes. Now, there's undoubtedly a contribution to the economy. These brands, there's undoubtedly a contribution. These brands, but these products are sold within the country. He wants this to be produced within the country. Trump wants this to be produced. He wants this. Many reasons. Honestly, he's right. One, he believes in this. He believes he is feeding his own enemy with his own economy. He believes he is growing it. He believes he has created a competitor. Secondly, we experienced the chip crisis. In the automotive industry, car prices have doubled all around the world. Still. Production isn't meeting consumption. Look, it's been for 4 years since the pandemic started. It will be the 5th year. This happened in 2020. Since 20, car prices have been the source of inflation in the world. China's inability to produce chips, and technology is advancing. In fact, some brands, European brands, producing vehicles without chips, and then when the chip arrives, we'll call you, we'll add you. We will integrate. They released some products. This also brought this. America said, in my strategic products, in my needs, if I go to war with China tomorrow, won't be able to reach these. 1, strategic. 2, employment. 3, the country's economy. Therefore, for this reason, America will start building trade barriers. You know, there are no customs. There are many products that are missing. Rightly so. The reason for the economy being in bad shape is, again, the government's wrong policies. Government support. During the pandemic, someone who works with their spouse while earning a salary of $4,000 to $5,000, benefited from government support. They received $8,000 to $9,000 while lying at home. And what did most of them do? He closed his house and so on. We have friends who went to Turkey. They returned and bought the house. They're saving. So these government supports have reduced inflation to companies and firms. There were really unprecedented large supports seen in other parts of the world. To any company, as a first step, it won't be like a pandemic, a shutdown. The day after the whistle was blown, they said, write down your expenses for 3 months. I'm sending this to you right away. Really, every company, 3 months of rent and personnel expenses, a rough estimate, sent an email. We woke up in the morning and there was money in our account. The very next day, well, then he said 3 months later, please send us your expenses for these 3 months. Send us what you've paid. We sent it, so report it. Let's say during these 3 months, as a company, I asked for $85,000. I said I have this much in rent expenses and I have this many employees. That's it. At the end of the 3 months, he said, prove these, provide evidence. I provided evidence. He immediately granted it and then wiped it out. It was deducted from my account. Then he said, he opened a short-term package for you, averaging $150,000 for each company. Then he opened a loan of about $2 million per company. The payments for these just started. It started after about 3-4 years. It started after the pandemic officially ended.
Over how many years did you spread it? 30 years. It's payable over 30 years.
You're paying in installments of $700. So now, it was important for these companies to ease the market, but in the end, inflation brought it. High inflation. Right now, they are trying to regain control by raising interest rates so that the balance of the market was disrupted. If we come to our topic, we actually got a bit more, but Trump's, to protect his country and to protect the country's economy. There are valid reasons for this, and in this way, due to the economic crisis, serious. He took a vote.
Yes, indeed, absolutely.
Its impact is significant, and he won a very significant electoral victory. It's only due to the economic crisis. Some of the things he said are true. Which areas are Turkish companies concerned about? So far, products can still be sold to America through intermediaries or platforms like Amazon and eBay. Yes, through intermediaries, you can still sell products in the market here. However, from now on, we need to understand this reality and we need to act accordingly. Now, we need to understand this and we need to act accordingly. Our theater ministers are aware of this. They have serious support. This doesn't exist in other countries around the world. Turkey's for the American market. The state supports and incentives are incredible. She can benefit from these. The second thing is that companies need to localize here. Selling products, producing them there and selling them here is now a bit difficult. It definitely needs to be localized here. If it's a strategic product, it needs to be produced in Turkey in terms of raw materials, in terms of production costs. But that company needs to not rely on someone here, but now she needs to manage her own warehouse, needs to establish its own sales network. We call this localization. An example of this is Turkey's. There are only 4 to 5 very serious brands in Houston. These brands, when we look at their last 10 years of journey, those who have localized, the ones who established their companies here, even those who set up production, how successful the companies are, we see what they can do. These become a source of inspiration for us.
Of course, a second location is opening, a third location is opening, a factory is opening.
It's going one by one, buying up its competitors. It's unique in the market. It says made in USA, made in Texas. And do you know what the best part is? You produced in one product, and you are a manufacturer in America, one of the producers. Products are coming from outside and undercutting your prices. There is an anti-dumping law. You can impose a penalty related to the prices of that product. You can enforce the tariff at customs, or you can block that product. So if you are a manufacturer here, I'm producing this product here, but look, it's coming from China, and it's selling for 1/10 of my price. It's doing anti-dumping. So if you say it's undercutting my price, this by your professional organization, immediately FTC, And as a law is being protected.
Well, I'm going to ask a very sincere question here. This is something that comes to the minds of many viewers now. The same thing happens when we talk about these issues in a casual conversation. So, okay, we're encouraging exports from Turkey to here. We want our Turkish brands to come here. The brand came here and localized at the same time. But the Turkish brand, I mean, it's known as a Turkish brand. It even came with its own name. But here, they're opening the second factory, they're opening the third factory. They start saying made in Texas. Now, should we see this as migration and a loss? Or I'm not on that side. I'm on the innovative side here. So even though it may seem like this in the short term, in the medium and long term, I believe that the lobbying activities here, the established presence of people coming from different ethnic backgrounds and countries for centuries, is the reason why we feel somewhat restricted in certain matters. I think this is because of that. I see it as a gain too. I believe there will be incredibly large gains in the long term. Now, with this incentive here, it's not possible to just stay here and sell the product here, because you will still open a location here. You will open a store, maybe you'll open a warehouse. In fact, maybe you'll also set up your production here as an addition. Of course, you're not moving everything. You're actually growing again. Doesn't this directly and sometimes indirectly contribute to the country?
How could it not be like this? At the top of the topics we mentioned in our previous videos. World brand. We still don't have any of our products. We don't have any of our brands in shopping malls that have very luxury stores. The world on the scene with pride. We still don't have a sector topic that we've talked about. The reason is this. The stage of the world is America. The gateway to America for the Turkish sector is Texas. Texas is the place we've been insisting on and trying to explain in this regard economic entry into the market and influencing the market. Very serious. Provides comfort to Turkish companies. The suspicion of Turkey's support has been around for 4 years already. So when you start receiving support, 4 years, some of your companies are waiting. You see, once we reach more branches, they were applying, because it's a 4-year period. When the starting bell rings, it pays off within a 4-year period. At that time, you can't distribute based on how many branches you have after that with that company. But 4 years is a very short time. I mean, for exports from Turkey, the speed of marketing and market growth is so high, it's so fast that after localizing, the market needs the depth and breadth of the market. It puts you in a position to soar. Therefore, you necessarily have to produce or know how to do it here for many reasons. You have to buy your place, the factory. Otherwise, you'll have to pay taxes. You have to acquire it in order to pay taxes. Then you need to build that building. You need to get one more. You need to hire more people, do more business, invest more. You need to do more business. You need to invest more. This doesn't end. So
there are incentives here, so it benefits you to increase your investments in order to deduct from taxes. Well, it doesn't make sense to grow there.
So you want to pay $1 million in taxes, or you want to buy $1 million worth of land?
Yes.
All right, the land is yours. Taxes. 1, 2. You can also buy this land with a loan. You already want to pay cash for the tax. You'll have to pay cash for that right away. There's no way out. There are 2 topics in America, taxes and education. They won't even let you talk about this. Stop touching. So you can't even imagine wandering around. If you do it, you'll have to face the consequences, but it takes this from you. But it's so beautiful. There are strategies to grow and strengthen the market. Therefore, you are forced to invest. And as you do business, the credits you reach, the opportunities you access, and the power you gain are all growing. The more you do bigger things, the more it gives you. The more you do bigger things, let me put it this way, 10 times more. So if you're doing a business worth 1 million, it opens up 10 million in credit. When it's 10 million, it's 100 million. So reaching $1 billion becomes very easy. Therefore, the place where Turkish companies will emerge on the world stage is America. America is the stage of the world. Every company that has succeeded in the American market does business everywhere in the world. 1, 2. Every company that has succeeded in the American market is very well known everywhere in the world. Let me put it this way. There are many examples. Our carpet factory in Kahramanmaraş, our carpet factory in Kayseri, when we sell the products here, from India, Pakistan, Russia, Africa, a ton of customers going to our factory's door. Well, we don't have a marketing network, Africa. We didn't introduce it to anyone. Where did they see this?
Yes.
What I'm trying to say is this. This is the stage. If you step onto the stage here, if you show success here, brand here, it will start to be sold in the important stores here. After that, one of those stores will have a Turkish name. Now, those important store brands, the bags, the clothes, the products we carry, at least one of them as a starting point. On one of the stores, luxury shopping malls, the name of a Turkish company will be written. We all end up in front of the door. Okay, they'll take them in one by one. After that, you should be in the $1 billion. You should have entered that market, the brand, and quality market, like France, Italy, and England. I'm a bit troubled about this, but I'm making the bags for all the brands. Here, I'm making them in Turkey, and I'm sending them out. But I don't have a single brand here. This is still a problem for us.
Yes, especially in textiles.
The other one is a bag. Enter the Coach brand. Go into Louis Vuitton, go into Burberry, go into many brands. You will find made in Turkey on most products.
You'll see, yes.
The t-shirt is made in Turkey. But we probably make it for $3, $5, $10. We gladly buy it here on sale for $500. The discounted price of the t-shirt is $500. It says made in Turkey on it. Why does it say Burberry now? We got brands. That brand should be mine. It's not about making money. It's about what we want to do and how we will do it. What is our goal? What do we want to do? Everywhere in the world. I don't know how you perceive this, but the added value we produce, what is the highest value a company in Turkey can achieve? But that company's share in this market, with 1/10 of the work they do there, what will be the brand value it will reach in 10 years when I do it here? That brand value belongs to Turkey. The work done here belongs to Turkey. Here, thank God, Borusa has taken 2 of its competitors, and it's doing some really great work that its partner has produced. It became huge, unmatched. Now it moved on to the other product. Thank God. Now, when that company hopefully becomes a $1 trillion company in the future, whose company will it be? A Turkish company, of course. Whose economy does it benefit? Whose power is that? The iron strip, coming from Turkey. Trump imposed 2 25% tariffs. Then he lifted one of them. It just went into debt. We have 1 company left. If we had 10 companies in the same sector, in every sector, professional organizations, at least if we had 1 representative, just 1 representative, in agriculture, in healthcare, in the defense industry, in space, in aviation. I'm mentioning the important sectors for Texas. There are countless sectors, and we need to have a say in these areas. Yes. We need to have a say.
Yes. It was a delightful conversation. Thank you. We will continue to discuss some topics that we are curious about related to this. Thank you for watching us.